Dive into the mystifying tale of Whispers of the Infinite Sky, a journey through an eternal storm that reveals ancient secrets and timeless truths. As you go about your day, let this story transport you across realms of thunder and lightning where whispers shape destinies and raindrops echo the chorus of existence. It's a fantastical adventure perfect for accompanying your moments of relaxation or intrigue, unraveling the threads of a story as vast and endless as the sky itself. The Eye of the Celestial Storm, the silent song of eternity. Part The Whispers of the Infinite Sky. It began on an evening like any other. The sun had dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a tapestry of swirling pink and orange hues across the sky. I was on the cliff that overlooked the vast ocean, the place where I always went to think and lose myself in the rhythmic crash of the waves. Yet that night there was a peculiar sensation, an almost electric charge in the air. I could feel it skitter along the surface of my skin, and I thought perhaps that was the first warning. But the sky was whispering, not of danger, but of something more curious, more compelling, or so I told myself at the time. The wind whipped around me, carrying those whispers in languages I could not comprehend, but felt deep within my bones. As the last traces of sunlight vanished, stars began to prick the night canvas, hesitantly peeking through, as though afraid of what was to come. I clutched my cloak tighter, seeking comfort from the brisk breeze, but soon found my thoughts drifting again to the oddity of the storm. It was said to be eternal, or so the legends had claimed. A storm that never ceased, never waned. An eternal storm that roamed seeking something or someone. Grandmother used to tell tales of the whispering skies, as she called them warnings of wanderers who had grown too curious or too bold. Those who dared sail beneath the clouded heaven were often never seen again, leaving whispers as their only imprint upon the world. It was whispered by the sea, by the trees, and by the wind, carrying their stories of warning. But as I stood there, shivering not from cold, but from anticipation, I felt that old yearning stir within me. What lay bravely beyond that ever-looming curtain of tempest? What secrets did the eternal storm guard so jealously? And why did its whispers call so alluringly to me personally? That night, the pull of the infinite sky was impossible to ignore. The storm moved with a grace that belied its ferocity, drawing in my fascination like a moth to a flame. Something deep, something primal beckoned, whispering of destiny and discovery. So the whispers from the sky grew louder until I could no longer deny them. They spun tales of adventure and mystery, binding my soul with an invisible thread to the very heart of the storm itself. Unbeknownst to me, as the whispers woven their magic, this was merely the beginning. The beginning of a journey that would upend everything I thought I knew about the world and my place within it. Fate, as it seemed, had chosen me to hear the whispers, to glean wisdom from them, to follow them into the depths of the unknown. A path that toward an eternal storm that did not merely rage, but watched, listened, and whispered to those who dared to heed its call. Part The Shadow of the Relentless Tempest. Determined to uncover the mystery behind the eternal storm, I rose with the dawn. Warm rays of sunlight did little to quench my restless spirit, still ablaze from the whispers echoing in my mind. They had not diminished while I slept, but transformed into vivid dreams of swirling clouds and lightning veiled in ethereal beauty. I journeyed into the village, intent upon finding answers, or at the very least, finding someone who would indulge my curiosity. As I walked through the bustling market, I could not help but notice the residue of the storm's whispers lingered here too. The skies, though clear, seemed to hum softly, perhaps, to those attentive enough to listen. At the edge of the market, near an old well, stood a figure I recognized, an old mariner named Elias. His tales were vast as the oceans he claimed to have conquered, and if anyone could guide me, surely it would be him. I approached, sensing the weight of his wisdom even before speaking. He studied me with eyes as piercing as the ocean's own gaze. "You've heard them, haven't you?" he asked without preamble, his voice gravelly like stones grinding beneath the sea. "The whispers. They've called you." I nodded, unable to conceal the urgency in my eyes. "And what of them? What do they mean?" A chuckle escaped his lips, though there was no warmth in it. "The storm guards its own. What it reveals is not for mortal understanding, though some like you are chosen to hear its call. What happened to the others? Others like me I pressed, feeling the gust of possibility and peril sharpen the edges of our conversation. Elias' expression grew somber. Most who chase the storm are never seen again. The few who return speak only of shadows about realms where wind and rain harbor spirits unknown to this world. Their tales are fragmentary, but if truth lingers within you, must discern it on your own. Despite the gravity of his words, I sensed a deeper truth. The eternal storm held answers to questions not yet formed, destinies not yet perceived. As I left Elias there at the market, I felt the storm's pull still constant. For the next several days, I prepared, assembling what provisions my journey might require. My heart danced between anxiousness and excitement with each passing hour, drawing me closer to the moment when I would set sail into those enigmatic heavens, at least the part of them that roamed so feverishly. On the eve of my departure, my thoughts returned to the whispers, those persistent melodies scrawled by winds across the sky. I understood now that to heed their call was to invite shadow to dwell in the heart of the storm, and to bring forth truths that might lay dormant within the soul. It was a journey not just of the body, but of the spirit. As I stood once again overlooking the ocean, I pledged silently to the storm and to myself. Whatever shadows awaited within its relentless heart, I would meet them with resolve and curiosity, ready to listen to what tales they might tell through the tempest's unyielding voice. The heart of the thunderclap. The morning I set sail dawned with a serenity that belied the tempest lying beyond the horizon. The sea glistened like polished glass, reflecting the vastness of the sky with infinite clarity. My vessel, small but sturdy, bobbed gently at the docks, its wooden frame ready to ferry me into the unknown. Friends and villagers gathered to bid me farewell, their faces a mixture of worry and awe. Among them was Elias, his eyes holding a quiet respect tinged with concern. "Be swift but careful," he advised, pressing a small charm carved from driftwood into my palm. "This might guide you when nothing else can. It holds the whispers of those lost before you." Clutching the charm, I boarded the vessel, feeling the wind's eager embrace as it filled my sails. My heart pounded with the thrill of all that lay ahead, even as I waved a final goodbye to the familiar shores and faces. The journey had begun, and with each passing wave I felt the storm's pull growing stronger, its whispers more insistent and clear. As the distance grew, so did the sense of otherness surrounding the storm. The skies darkened subtly, forming a bruised halo around the horizon. The air hummed differently, electric and alive, charged with a presence that seemed to throb in tandem with my heartbeat. Days passed on the open water, and the world transformed around me. The sun became an occasional visitor, streaking pale across a sky otherwise embroidered with cloud and shadow. The sea, spirited like a creature tethered to the whims of the impending storm, surged beneath my humble craft, testing its mettle. Yet beyond the physical challenges arose a deeper transformation, one that stirred within my soul. The whispers nested in my consciousness, unveiling a symphony of voices, dreamlike and vivid. I sensed stories they longed to relay, stories of eras unseen, of fates entwined across time's river, but I knew not how to decipher their ancient tongue. Eventually, the storm arrived as if summoned by my own reckoning. It billowed on the horizon, a darkened titan of fury and grace, a colossal wall of cloud throbbing with roiling energy. Lightning arced wildly through the atmosphere, painting the skies in jagged threads of silver. Thunder reverberated deep and resonant like a fierce drumbeat, announcing the heart of the storm itself. The gusts lashed out in a primal dance, flinging my vessel into its frenzied embrace. Yet amidst the tumult, I felt no fear, only awe and reverence for the storm's splendor. Here at its center, where the thunderclap was both heartbeat and hymn, I felt connected to the vast tapestry of existence. Each lighting strike illuminated not just the sky, but fragments of understanding awakening within me. And with that dawning came the understanding that the storm was no mere force of nature. It was a guardian, a keeper of tales too ancient to be voiced by words alone. Within its core lay the heart of countless stories, whispered eternally through the thunderclaps, through each ripple of rain, awaiting the few brave enough to listen and decipher its secrets. As I steered into the very eye of this relentless storm, my spirit poised upon discovery, the eternal storm, and I began a dialogue of sorts. It spoke in the language of thunder, sleek with the purpose of the ages, and I was its attentive witness, ready to embrace all that it had to reveal. Part, the dance of the unyielding winds. In the tempest's embrace, I found a peculiar rhythm amidst its fury, a dance that wove through chaos with uncanny grace. The winds howled and surged, circling me with relentless vigor. Yet through their wild symphony there emerged an unexpected partner, a strange harmony echoing with vigor and whispered secrets. These winds carried stories long forgotten and dreams unfulfilled, spinning them through the air with playful abandon. I listened intently, realizing that this dance was an invitation, as much a call to action as the whispers had been. To truly understand the storm's nature, I needed to partake in this dance, to let the wind steer my soul as much as it did my vessel. Letting go of the tiller, I surrendered myself to the elements, trusting the storm to guide me. The winds twirled around, enveloping me in their embrace. It was a dance more profound than any I had experienced, born out of timeless nature ever evolving. Faces brushed past like whispers of ancient souls, etched within the storm's chaos, fleeting and ephemeral memories. They wore expressions that glittered with hopeful awe of discovery, yet also bore the ragged edge of longing. I reached out, sensing echoes of their joys and sorrows, understanding not through conversation, but through connection, an ancient communion. The dance revealed truths not easily discerned. Boundaries between past, present, and future collapsed into a single canvas painted by the tempest's artistry. Here within the storm, the linear threads of time unraveled and intertwined, unbridled by earthly constraints. A revelation unfolded in these winds, one that had balanced on the brink of my consciousness since my journey began. The storm's nature was more than guardian or specter of tales. It was a keeper of dreams, spun across the thresholds of possibility and despair. With each gust, I felt the presence of those who had ventured before me, their ambitions, struggles, and triumphs written in the storm's breath. The eternal storm remembered the voyages of those who dared to dance amongst its gales, and as I partook, I understood my own place within this grand choreography. The storm wanted me to see, for my path too was woven into the tempest, its unending journey. And I was a steward of these whispers, perhaps chosen to bear back stories, untold, unspoken truths carried upon the wind. I realized that the whispers had tied us together, not just my journey, but countless journeys weaving through the storm's dance. As the winds began to settle and the storm's fury softened, I returned to awareness, feeling transformed. The dance had unveiled more than secrets. It had shared wisdom etched across time. Whispers guided the dance's rhythm, and now my heart carried their echoes, crafted in the storm's vast forge. I stood beneath the now gently swirling clouds, the quiet eye of the storm, where the winds receded into softer murmurs, allowing the stories to breathe, to live. There beneath the wide expanse, I felt the dance still beating within me, fueling a newfound purpose, and I understood with clarity that the storm was ever present, ever patient in its pursuit of revelation. Part, the secrets of the Lightning Keeper. As the storm's winds settled into a restless lull, the air thick with expectancy, I knew my journey was not yet complete. I had danced with the wind, now it was time to listen to the lightning, the silent keeper of profound secrets. The electric cracks blazing through the sky held truths buried deep within their blinding arcs, waiting for a soul brave enough to capture their essence. The heart of the storm was a curious place, a realm where fury nestled beside tranquility. A juxtaposition I found both unsettling and comforting. My vessel rocked gently at the center of this celestial theater where lightning reigned as both maestro and muse. Here amid the swirling clouds, I waited for the lightning to speak. With eyes fixed upon the horizon, I watched the dazzling display unfold, mesmerizing as much as it was terrifying. Each bolt was a stroke of brilliance, tearing through the sky, lighting up the world in spasms of raw power. But within those brilliant arcs lay understanding. And as I watched, I noticed a pattern emerging, a language crafted in light. The lightning spoke in bursts of intensity, vibrant threads connecting the heavens and earth, weaving a tapestry unseen by those outside the storm's embrace. There among the bolts I perceived shapes and forms, ephemeral glimpses of worlds adrift in this charged eon. They were visions of distant places and old worlds bearing names forgotten to attune wonders beyond comprehension. I recalled the driftwood charm Elias had given me, its surface etched with spirals echoing these very shapes formed among the lightning's dance. Gripping it tightly, I became attuned to the harmony, the clicks and hum of voices coursing through the storm, forged by a chorus older than time itself. The lightning danced, allowing fragments of clarity to whisper their secrets, buried beneath the skin of light. Tales of creation whispered on currents of electricity, stories of life transmuted from cosmic energy to material existence. With each flash, I felt those threads attach themselves to my awareness, unfurling a connection that bypassed reason, planted instead deep within the spirit's soil. In this bold theater of light and sound, I grasped an ancient truth. The storm was not merely an eternal cycle of fury, but a crucible from which dreams were tempered and stories woven anew. Lightning was the architect, and the storm its canvas painting destinies, with each crackling arc unfurling above. Absorbing the secrets engraved within gleaming bolts, I committed to memory the stories it sought to impart. I felt the majesty and weight of their promise firmly held within me, and resolved to honor them, to carry them beyond the storm's limits, to those willing to listen and understand. As I stood surrounded by the storm's brilliant epistles, the whispers that once drove me became a steady drum, fueling a resolve nurtured by the celestial lightning. Encased within its secrets was the knowledge of creation, of beginnings and endings intertwined, revealing a tapestry greater than any within mortal ken. When I finally turned away, sailing forth from the luminous cradle, I carried with me more than echoes of bolts and thunder. I bore the lightnings, layered truths crafted in countless millennia, sustained by the eternal storm's unwavering promise woven into the very essence of all that is, all that was, and all that will be. Part the labyrinth of raindrop echoes. Emerging from the tempest with lightning's secrets etched within my spirit, I found myself within the soft embrace of rain. The storm spoke not in the cacophony of thunder, nor the brilliance of lightning, but in the gentle patter of raindrops, a sound that seemed almost timid in comparison to what had come before. Yet within this subdued symphony lay its own mysteries, waiting patiently to be unraveled. The vessel drifted now as I looked across the shimmering expanse. Each raindrop kissed the ocean's surface, dispersing ripples that wove across the water like incantations whispered in hushed tones. I listened intently, recognizing the language of echoes dancing in the wake of each drop. I leaned over the edge of my vessel, reaching out my hand to catch the rain. It landed on my skin, trickling off my fingers in delicate trails. In that intimate touch, I felt their stories, tiny moments of the storm's journey captured within each droplet. Together they formed the labyrinth, a journey through echoes spun within the liquid prism. The rain began to speak, revealing its own intricacies, tender secrets, conveyed not by vision but by truth, felt in solitude. Within the cold, crystalline embrace, I sensed stories of those who had once dared to dream beneath the storm's canopy, their hopes caught and swirled away into the maelstrom. I closed my eyes, allowing memories to speak through those gentle echoes. Within the labyrinth, moments unfurled, bathed in nostalgia and longing. Here was the fisherman who had encountered love on distant shores, a mother's lullaby shared beneath the vast expanse and lands beyond my imagining, seen and lost to time's river. The raindrops shared these persevering whispers borne across the worlds. They were tributes, tales of beauty, loss, and renewal, cascading through the ages, offered back to the ocean as rain. Their wisdom lay in their simplicity, in the acknowledgement that all beings created and concluded stories, starting anew. Listening carefully, I realized the rain was a bridge between realms, a conduit crossing heart and horizon, uniting souls through the eternal storm's ceaseless cycle. It offered solace and understanding, a reminder of life's rich tapestry woven together drop by drop. As the storm's rains began to diminish, their music had guided me through its labyrinth, showing me the interconnectedness of our existence, the seamless dance between touch and memory, thought and action. The echoes imbued me with reverence for each liquid note, however quiet a note only found beneath an infinite sky. With newfound perspective, I turned toward my journey's conclusion, my heart carrying the echoes of the storm's delicate symphony. The rain had imparted knowledge of connectivity, seen through delicate threads linking all stories together, each raindrop an invaluable shard of the whole. As the sky lightened, heralding the storm's parting, I held these reflections within my spirit. I knew the labyrinth of raindrop echoes existed beyond the horizon, beyond the present, an everlasting narrative told beneath the eternal watch of a storm, where all dreams distilled and flowed anew. Part, the eye of the celestial storm. With the rain's melodies still lingering within me, I entered the calm eye of the celestial storm, a realm of unnerving serenity, nestled within the chaos I had thus far traversed. Here I found clarity like none I had known before, a silence so profound it felt as though time itself had paused to witness my journey. The storm's heart was unlike any place I had experienced, eradicated of turbulence and noise, a pool of stillness amid the unfurling chaos. The skies above formed a great dome of swirling azure and silver, and beneath the vessel lay an ocean mirrored in perfect tranquility, softer than any I had ever seen. It was within this eye that I felt the whispers strongest, not as a pull or a call, but as an understanding and innate knowledge born from existence itself. Here the storm neither raged nor whispered, but observed in hushed anticipation. For the first time I truly beheld the storm's purpose. It was a keeper and storyteller, a guardian to the countless souls it had touched and transformed. Each whisper that threaded through the winds and every bolt of lightning that offered its searing truths converged here in the storm's silent heart as if awaiting my recognition. Without the din to distract me, I spent hours adrift in its embrace, wrapped in contemplation. In this calmness, I found myself reflecting upon all I had encountered, each insight offered to me by the storm's manifold voices. My journey had been not just about discovery, but about understanding the unity inherent in differing experiences bound together by an eternal force. There I stood at the eye, feeling for once truly a part of something greater. I understood that the storm's eternal cycle was both ending and beginning, shaping the weft of creation's fabric, and I was woven into it. The storm held memories of existence, of life's connections interwoven across times and realms, guided by the gentle hands of fate. And in that revelation, I felt the pure essence of the storm's gift. It whispered not merely of quests and dangers, but of unity and renewal, stories and dreams seeking continuity across the threads of time. These were its final teachings, love and balance amidst the tempest's mighty breath. As the eye began to wane, its tranquility fading back to the wild embrace of winds and thunder, I prepared for my eventual return. The journey with the storm had offered truths melded in wisdom and enchantment, deeper than words alone could convey. This voyage would soon be a memory, but its impact would steer my path long after I left the horizon. No longer a wanderer but a messenger, I set my course, guided by the stories born not by my own, but by the celestial eye of the storm. What had begun on a quiet night, listening to whispers on a cliff, had unfolded into a timeless dance, revealing the songs of eternity etched into the soul, not only mine, but all who dared to dream beneath the infinite sky. As its feathery embrace released me, the celestial storm remained on the horizon, not as an ending, but an eternal presence, carrying whispers onward softly, shaping the world within its tender eyes. Part, the silent song of eternity. The journey back from the heart of the storm felt both like a farewell and an invitation to a new beginning. As my vessel sailed away from the celestial eye, the fury of the tempest following in my wake gradually softened, allowing sunlight to pour through the now scattered clouds. The sea resumed its familiar rhythm, the gentle, undulating waves carrying me back towards my home and the life that awaited beyond the horizon. Yet I was not the same as when I had first ventured out, so eagerly drawn by the whispers of the storm. The voices that had once been mere echoes on the brink of perception were now harmonized within me, creating a symphony of understanding and connection. I carried with me the knowledge of memories left untold, stories gathered and renewed by the eternal journey that the storm itself embodied. As I approached the shores of my village, the landscape appeared changed, not in its physicality, but through the lens of my transformed perception. Everything seemed more vibrant, the colors of the sea and sky more profound, anchored by the knowledge and secrets I had unearthed within the tempest. The villagers greeted my return with warmth and curiosity. Elias was there among them, his weathered features softened by a knowing smile. As I stepped back onto familiar ground, I realized the stories I had gathered were not meant to be kept to myself. They were pieces of the broader tapestry of life that needed to be shared, passed on, like the whispers among friends waiting for interpretation and understanding. Weeks turned into months, yet the storm's lessons continued to guide me as I wove its truths into the fabric of my everyday life. I spoke of the dance of the winds, the cradle of lightning, the labyrinth of rain, all narrated in ways that bound our local stories with the eternal echoes of the storm. And as I recounted what I had seen and felt within the heart of the celestial eye, I noticed something remarkable. The villagers, too, began to listen more carefully to the winds, began to recount their dreams in whispers that blended with those age-old melodies often hidden in plain sight across our shared landscape. In the stillness of solitude, when I once more stood upon the cliffs overlooking the vast waters, perhaps to listen to the dimming strains of my journey, I understood that whispers of the storm flowed endlessly through the threads of existence, weaving us all into its eternal song. And sometimes in rare flashes of moonlight, when the firmament crackled and shimmered, there was the faintest echo. The eternal storm remained ever present, and within it the seeds of new stories rested tenderly upon the mother world below, cradling the essence of all life and whispering into the soul of eternity itself. In those whispers, in the silent song that rang through creation, I found my truest self reborn and united with a cosmos that spoke endlessly of wonder and possibility. And I, too, a listener and a keeper of tales, was forever its accomplice, carrying whispers full of hope, love, and purpose beyond any single mortal path or sky.